In the last episode, my companions and I were struggling to come to terms with the aftermath of our last trial, still reeling from the losses and challenges we had faced. A cryptic message from an unknown ally had given us a glimmer of hope, hinting at the existence of a long-lost Aetherian outpost hidden deep within the Undercroft. With renewed determination, we set out to navigate the treacherous tunnels of the Undercroft, driven by the promise of ancient knowledge and powerful artifacts. As I stood at the entrance of the Undercroft, the air grew thick with an eerie silence. My heart pounded in my chest, anticipation and fear warring for dominance. I took a deep breath, mentally preparing myself for what lay ahead. The darkness seemed to swallow us whole as we stepped into the unknown. Lena's voice was laced with concern. "We're not sure what well face down here, Alex. Are you sure this is the right call?" I hesitated, my eyes adjusting to the dim light. The message was clear. The outpost holds the key to our survival. We can't afford to ignore it. Kale's practical tone cut through the tension. We should focus on getting moving. The sooner we find this outpost, the better. With a shared nod, we ventured into the darkness, our footsteps echoing off the cold stone walls. The air grew colder, the silence oppressive. Every step felt like a gamble, as if we were playing with forces we couldn't control. The ground began to shift and tremble. Seismic activity was picking up. We had to move fast. Suddenly, a loud rumble shook the ground, sending us stumbling. A massive stone door loomed before us, adorned with ancient symbols. It looked like it hadn't been opened in centuries. Lena's voice was barely audible over the din. "What do we do now?" I approached the door cautiously, studying the symbols. "I think I can decipher this. Give me a minute." As I worked, the ground continued to shudder. The door creaked ominously, as if it was being pushed open by an unseen force. The symbols began to glow with a faint blue light. The door groaned, slowly swinging open. A warm light spilled out, illuminating the dark tunnel. We exchanged wary glances, unsure of what lay ahead. Stepping through the doorway, we found ourselves in a vast underground chamber. The ceiling disappeared into darkness, and the walls were lined with ancient artifacts. But we weren't alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, her eyes gleaming with a fierce determination. Lyrian, a brilliant subterranean explorer, approached us. "I've been expecting you. I can help you navigate the Undercroft, but we must be careful. The Shadowhand Clan is closing in." Her words sent a shiver down my spine. "The Shadowhand Clan? What's their stake in this?" Lyrian's expression turned grim. "They'll stop at nothing to claim the outpost's secrets for themselves." As I pondered Lyrian's words, a faint noise echoed through the chamber. The sound sent a chill down my spine. We were not alone, and our presence had not gone unnoticed. The seismic activity was intensifying. The ground was shifting, and the chamber was beginning to destabilize. We had to act fast. The fate of our quest and our lives hung in the balance. But as we prepared to face the challenges ahead, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being herded toward a far greater danger, one that threatened to consume us all. Previously, we had just stepped into the vast underground chamber where we encountered Lyrian, a brilliant subterranean explorer who offered to help us navigate the Undercroft, but warned us that the Shadowhand Clan was closing in, determined to claim the outpost's secrets for themselves. The seismic activity was intensifying, and the chamber was beginning to destabilize, threatening our quest and our lives. As we prepared to face the challenges ahead, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being herded toward a far greater danger. The ground shook violently, causing us to stumble and struggle to maintain our balance. Lyrian's eyes locked onto mine, her gaze urgent. "We need to move, now!" "The seismic activity is going to get worse, and we can't stay here." She grabbed a backpack from behind her and began to rummage through it. "I've got some equipment that might help us navigate this chaos. Stay close." As the chamber continued to shudder, Lyrian handed out strange, glowing orbs that seemed to defy gravity. "These are ether-infused stabilizers," she explained. "They'll help us stay upright and see through the debris. But we need to keep moving. We can't stay in one spot for too long." Kale's eyes widened as he took the orb, his expression a mix of fascination and fear. "What's the tech behind these?" he asked Lyrian, his voice barely audible over the growing din. Lyrian's response was curt, her focus on our immediate survival. "I'll explain later. For now, let's just focus on getting out of here alive." The seismic activity reached a fever pitch, causing massive boulders to crash down from the ceiling. We dodged and weaved, using Lyrian's stabilizers to avoid being crushed. The sound was deafening, a cacophony of crashing stone and screaming metal. As we navigated the treacherous terrain, I caught glimpses of ancient carvings on the walls, depicting strange creatures and mysterious rituals. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, and I could feel the weight of the Undercroft secrets pressing down on us. Just when it seemed like the chaos couldn't get worse, a massive crack opened up in the ground, splitting the chamber in two. We found ourselves staring into a seemingly bottomless chasm with no clear way to cross. Lena's voice was laced with fear. "What do we do now, Alex? We can't just stand here!" I looked around, searching for any possible solution. That's when I spotted Kaida, a resourceful scavenger who had been tracking us from the shadows. She emerged from the darkness, her eyes locked onto the chasm. "I think I can help with that," she said, a hint of a smile on her face. "I've got some gear that might just do the trick." As Kaida began to set up a makeshift bridge, Lyrian turned to me with a concerned expression. "Alex, we need to talk about the Shadowhand Clan. They're not just any ordinary treasure hunters. They're ruthless, and they'll stop at nothing to get what they want." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "What do we know about their leader?" Lyrian's expression turned grim. "Not much, unfortunately, but I do know that they're led by someone known only as the Archon. Rumor has it that they're obsessed with the Outpost's secrets, and they'll do whatever it takes to claim them." As Kaida finished setting up the bridge, we began to make our way across, the seismic activity still raging around us. I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being herded toward a far greater danger, one that threatened to consume us all. But for now, we had to focus on survival. We made it to the other side, battered and bruised, but alive. As we caught our breath, I realized that Lyrian's words had struck a chord within me. The Shadowhand Clan and their leader, the Archon, were a threat that we couldn't ignore. We needed to be prepared to face whatever dangers lay ahead. And as we stood there, united in our determination, I knew that we would face whatever challenges came our way, together. The seismic activity began to subside, leaving behind an eerie silence. We exchanged weary glances, our faces etched with exhaustion and fear. But as we looked at each other, I saw something else, a spark of hope, a flame of resilience that refused to be extinguished. We had made it this far, and we would keep going, no matter what dangers lay ahead. For we knew that the outpost held the key to our survival, and we were determined to claim it, no matter the cost. As we ventured deeper into the Undercroft, the darkness seemed to swallow us whole once more. But this time, we were not alone. We had each other, and we had a newfound sense of purpose. The journey ahead would be treacherous, but we were ready. For we knew that we were not just fighting for our own survival. We were fighting for a brighter future, one where hope and courage would forever reshape our world. Previously, the seismic activity had reached a fever pitch, causing massive boulders to crash down from the ceiling, and a massive crack had opened up in the ground, splitting the chamber in two with no clear way to cross. Lyrian, our new subterranean ally, had handed out ether-infused stabilizers to help us navigate the chaos, and Kaida, a resourceful scavenger, had emerged with a makeshift bridge to help us cross the chasm. As we began to make our way across, Lyrian had warned us about the Shadowhand Clan, a ruthless group of treasure hunters led by the enigmatic Archon. As we reached the other side, battered and bruised, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being herded toward a far greater danger. But for now, we had to focus on survival. We caught our breath, our faces etched with exhaustion and fear. Lyrian's words still lingered in my mind. The Shadowhand Clan would stop at nothing to claim the outpost's secrets. Lyrian pulled out a map, her eyes scanning the parchment as she searched for our next route. "We need to move quickly," she said, her voice firm. "The seismic activity may have subsided, but it's only a matter of time before it resumes, and when it does, we don't want to be caught in the open." Kale nodded, his eyes still fixed on the stabilizer in his hand. "What's the plan, Lyrian? How do we navigate this place?" Lyrian pointed to the map, tracing a winding path through the Undercroft. "This tunnel will take us deeper into the complex. We'll need to move quietly, avoiding any major fault lines, and we need to be prepared for anything." As we set off, the darkness seemed to swallow us whole once more. But this time, we were not alone. We had each other, and we had a newfound sense of purpose. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, and I could feel the weight of the Undercroft's secrets pressing down on us. The tunnel twisted and turned, leading us through narrow passages and cavernous chambers. We encountered strange creatures, their bodies adapted to the subterranean environment, and we had to be careful not to disturb them. Kaida proved to be a valuable asset, her knowledge of the Undercroft's hidden passages and secret caches helping us avoid potential dangers. As we journeyed deeper, the walls began to change, the ancient carvings giving way to strange symbols and murals. Lyrian's eyes lit up as she examined the artwork, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns. "This is it," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "This is the subterranean dialect, an ancient language used by the Aetherians to convey hidden knowledge. If we can decipher this, we may be able to unlock the secrets of the outpost." Lena's eyes widened as she examined the murals, her mind racing with the implications. "What do you think it says?" she asked Lyrian. Lyrian's expression turned thoughtful. "I'm not sure yet, but I think it's a warning, a message from the Aetherians about the dangers that lie ahead." As we continued to decipher the murals, the air grew thick with an eerie energy. I could feel it building, a sense of anticipation that seemed to reverberate through every cell in my body. And then, without warning, the tunnel opened up into a vast underground lake. The water stretched out before us, its surface reflecting the dim light of our stabilizers like a mirror. Kale's eyes widened in awe. "How are we supposed to cross that?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I turned to Kaida, who was already rummaging through her pack. "I think our scavenger friend might have a solution for us," I said, a hint of a smile on my face. Kaida grinned, pulling out a small, sleek boat. "I knew this day would come," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Let's get moving, shall we?" As we pushed off from the shore, the boat gliding smoothly across the water, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We were one step closer to unlocking the secrets of the outpost, and one step closer to facing whatever dangers lay ahead. But as we reached the midpoint of the lake, I sensed a presence lurking beneath the surface. A presence that seemed to be watching us, waiting for us to make our next move. And then, without warning, the water began to churn and foam. The boat rocked violently, threatening to capsize. "What's happening?" Lena cried out, her voice laced with fear. I looked down, and that's when I saw it, a massive shape rising from the depths of the lake, its eyes fixed on us like a predator. "We need to get out of here, now!" I shouted, my heart racing with excitement. But as we frantically paddled toward the shore, I realized that we were not alone. The shape was not the only thing lurking in the depths. There were others, watching us, waiting for us, and they would not be ignored. Previously, the massive shape had risen from the depths of the lake, its eyes fixed on us like a predator, and we had frantically paddled toward the shore, desperate to escape its deadly gaze. The water had churned and foamed, threatening to capsize our small boat, and we had narrowly avoided being dragged under by the shape's powerful tail. As we stumbled onto dry land, gasping for breath, I had caught a glimpse of the shape's massive body, its scales glinting in the dim light of our stabilizers. As we caught our breath, I turned to Lyrian, my eyes locked on hers. "What was that thing?" I asked, my voice still shaking with adrenaline. Lyrian's expression was grim. "Not sure," she said, her eyes scanning the lake's surface. "But I think it's a guardian, a creature tasked with protecting the Undercroft's secrets. We need to be careful. It's clear that we're getting close to something important." Kael nodded, his eyes still fixed on the lake. "We need to get moving," he said. "We can't stay here. That thing could come back." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "Lyrian, can you decipher the murals on the wall?" I asked. "Maybe there's a clue about what's ahead." Lyrian nodded, her eyes already scanning the artwork. "I think I see something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This symbol here, it looks like a warning, a message about an upcoming trial." As Lyrian continued to study the murals, I noticed Kaida rummaging through her pack. "What's that?" I asked, nodding toward the small, leather-bound book. Kaida looked up, a hint of a smile on her face. "It's an old journal belonging to one of the Aetherians who built the outpost," she said. "I found it in a hidden cache earlier. It might have some information about what's ahead." I took the journal, flipping through its yellowed pages. The writing was cryptic, but one passage stood out. "Beneath the waves, where shadows dance, seek the keystone, claim the chance. Face the darkness and emerge anew. In the heart of the Undercroft, truth awaits you." I looked up at Lyrian, my eyes locked on hers. "I think I know what this means," I said, a sense of excitement building within me. Lyrian's expression turned thoughtful. "The keystone," she repeated. "I think I know where that is. Follow me." As we set off once more, the air grew thick with anticipation. We were getting close to something, and I could feel it. The tunnel twisted and turned, leading us deeper into the Undercroft. We encountered more creatures, more challenges, but we persevered, driven by our determination to unlock the secrets of the outpost. And then, without warning, we stumbled upon a massive stone door, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols. Lyrian's eyes lit up as she examined the door, her fingers tracing the patterns. "This is it," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "This is the entrance to the outpost." "But I think we're not alone." As she spoke, the door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber beyond. And that's when I saw it, a figure standing in the shadows, watching us. But to my surprise, it wasn't a member of the Shadowhand Clan. It was someone I had least expected to see, a figure from my own past, someone I had thought was lost forever. "Astrid!" I whispered, my voice shaking with emotion. Astrid stepped forward, a hint of a smile on her face. "Alex," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I've been waiting for you." I felt a mix of emotions, shock, joy, and trepidation. Astrid had been a close friend, a confidant, but she had disappeared during a previous mission. I had thought she was dead. "Astrid, what are you doing here?" I asked, my voice still shaking with emotion. Astrid's expression turned serious. "I've been trapped here for years," she said. "I've been trying to find a way out, but I think I can help you now. I have information about the outpost, about the Shadowhand Clan, and I think I can help you unlock its secrets." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "What do you know?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Astrid's eyes locked on mine, and I saw a spark of determination there. "I know that the outpost holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the Aetherians," she said. "And I know that the Shadowhand Clan will stop at nothing to claim it. But I also know that you have a chance to prevent that from happening." As Astrid began to reveal her knowledge, I realized that our journey was far from over. We still had to navigate the dangers of the outpost, still had to face the Shadowhand Clan. But with Astrid's help, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We might just have a chance to succeed, to unlock the secrets of the outpost and emerge victorious. But as we stepped into the chamber, I sensed that we were being watched. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and we had to be ready. The stakes had just been raised, and our next move would determine the course of our journey. With Astrid by our side, we steeled ourselves for what lay ahead, ready to face whatever challenges the Undercroft had in store for us. The journey was far from over, but with newfound allies and a renewed sense of purpose, we were determined to see it through to the end. Previously, Astrid had stepped forward, a hint of a smile on her face, and I had felt a mix of emotions, shock, joy, and trepidation. She had been trapped in the Undercroft for years, and I had thought she was lost forever. But now, she stood before me, offering to help us unlock the secrets of the outpost and prevent the Shadowhand Clan from claiming its power. As Astrid began to reveal her knowledge, I realized that our journey was far from over. We still had to navigate the dangers of the outpost, still had to face the Shadowhand Clan. But with Astrid's help, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We might just have a chance to succeed, to unlock the secrets of the outpost and emerge victorious. But as we stepped into the chamber, I sensed that we were being watched. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and we had to be ready. The stakes had just been raised, and our next move would determine the course of our journey. With Astrid by our side, we steeled ourselves for what lay ahead, ready to face whatever challenges the Undercroft had in store for us. The journey was far from over, but with newfound allies and a renewed sense of purpose, we were determined to see it through to the end. As we ventured deeper into the chamber, Astrid led us to a large, circular room filled with ancient machinery and strange devices. The air was thick with the smell of dust and old technology. Lyrian's eyes lit up as she examined the equipment, her fingers tracing the intricate carvings. "This is incredible," she whispered. "This must be the heart of the outpost." Astrid nodded, her eyes scanning the room. "This is where the Aetherians conducted their research, where they developed their technology. But we have to be careful. The Shadowhand Clan will stop at nothing to claim this technology for themselves." Kale's voice was low and urgent. "We need to find a way to disable their tracking devices. If they're able to pinpoint our location, we're done for." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "Astrid, can you help us with that?" Astrid nodded, pulling out a small device from her pack. "I managed to salvage this from one of the old labs. It's a jamming device. It should be able to disrupt the Shadowhand Clan's tracking signals." As Astrid worked to activate the device, I noticed a series of ancient symbols etched into the walls. They seemed to pulse with a soft blue light. "Lyrian, what do you make of these symbols?" I asked, nodding toward the etchings. Lyrian's eyes lit up as she examined the symbols. "I think they're a warning, a message from the Aetherians, but I'm not sure what they mean." Astrid's voice was low and urgent. "I think I can help with that. I've studied these symbols before. They're a key part of the Aetherian language." As Astrid began to decipher the symbols, the room was filled with a soft, blue glow. The air seemed to vibrate with energy, and I felt a sense of excitement building within me. Suddenly, the symbols on the wall began to shift and rearrange themselves, revealing a hidden message. Beneath the keystone, where shadows dance, seek the heart of the outpost, claim the chance. Face the darkness and emerge anew. In the heart of the Undercroft, truth awaits you. I felt a surge of excitement. "This is it," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "This is the key to unlocking the secrets of the outpost." But as we celebrated, the sound of footsteps echoed through the chamber, growing louder with each passing moment. The Shadowhand Clan had found us, and they were closing in. We knew we had to act fast. With Astrid's help, we quickly activated the jamming device, disabling the Shadowhand Clan's tracking signals. But we knew it was only a temporary solution. We had to keep moving if we wanted to stay one step ahead. As we prepared to leave, Lyrian turned to me with a concerned expression. "Alex, I think we should talk about our plan. We can't just rush into things. We need to think this through." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. "You're right. Let's take a moment to discuss our strategy." We gathered around, discussing our options and weighing the risks. Kale suggested we try to find a hidden passage, while Kaida recommended we create a diversion to draw the Shadowhand Clan away. Astrid offered to lead us through a secret route she had discovered during her time in the outpost. As we talked, I realized that we had a unique opportunity to grow and learn from each other. We had been through so much already, but this moment was different. We were no longer just trying to survive. We were working together, relying on each other's strengths to overcome the challenges ahead. With a renewed sense of purpose, we set off once more, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The journey was far from over, but we were determined to see it through to the end. As we navigated the winding tunnels, we encountered more creatures, more challenges, but we persevered, driven by our determination to unlock the secrets of the outpost. And then, without warning, we stumbled upon a massive underground lake, its waters glowing with an ethereal light. A small boat bobbed on the surface, waiting for us. Lyrian's eyes lit up as she examined the boat. "This must be our way," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my heart racing with excitement. We had come so far, and now we were on the cusp of something incredible. As we pushed off from the shore, the boat glided across the lake, carrying us toward the heart of the outpost. The water seemed to glow with an otherworldly energy, and I felt a sense of wonder building within me. But as we approached the far shore, I sensed that we were not alone. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and we had to be ready. The stakes had never been higher, and our next move would determine the course of our journey. But with Astrid by our side, and with our combined strength and determination, I knew that we could overcome any obstacle. The journey was far from over, but I was ready to face whatever lay ahead. I was ready to uncover the secrets of the outpost, to emerge victorious, and to forge a new future for myself and for Aetheria. As we stepped off the boat, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We had come so far, and we had grown so much. We were no longer the same people we had been when we first entered the Undercroft. We were stronger, wiser, and more resilient, and we were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, together. Previously, Astrid had stepped forward, a hint of a smile on her face, and I had felt a mix of emotions, shock, joy, and trepidation. She had been trapped in the Undercroft for years, and I had thought she was lost forever. But now she stood before me, offering to help us unlock the secrets of the outpost and prevent the Shadowhand Clan from claiming its power. As Astrid began to reveal her knowledge, I realized that our journey was far from over. We still had to navigate the dangers of the outpost, still had to face the Shadowhand Clan. But with Astrid's help, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We might just have a chance to succeed, to unlock the secrets of the outpost and emerge victorious. But just as we were about to proceed, a massive tremor shook the ground beneath our feet. The sound of crashing rocks and debris filled the air, and I stumbled, almost losing my balance. Lyrian grabbed my arm, her eyes wide with concern. "What's happening?" she shouted over the din. Astrid's face went pale. "It's a seismic shift. We have to get out of here, now!" The tunnel behind us began to collapse, sending boulders and dust crashing down. Kyle grabbed Kaida and pulled her to safety just in time. We sprinted forward, dodging falling rocks and leaping over chasms that opened up in the ground. As we ran, the air grew thick with dust, making it hard to see. I stumbled, my lungs burning. Lyrian pulled me along, her grip on my arm like a vice. Suddenly, a massive stone door loomed before us. Astrid yanked on a rusty handle, and the door creaked open, revealing a narrow passageway. "In here," she shouted, pushing us through the doorway. We tumbled into the passageway, gasping for air. The door slammed shut behind us, and we heard the sound of rocks crashing against it, sealing it closed. As we caught our breath, I realized that we were not alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, a hood pulled up over their head. "Welcome, Alex," they said in a low, gravelly voice. "I've been waiting for you." I narrowed my eyes, trying to see the figure's face. "Who are you?" I demanded. The figure pushed back its hood, revealing a woman with piercing green eyes and jet black hair. "I am Era, a member of an ancient order sworn to protect the secrets of the outpost," she said, "and I have a proposition for you." Era explained that her order had been watching us from the shadows, waiting for us to reach this point. She offered to share their knowledge and resources with us, but at a steep price. "We will help you unlock the secrets of the outpost," she said, "but you must first prove yourselves worthy. We have a trial prepared for you, one that will test your courage, your wits, and your resolve." I hesitated, unsure of what to do. But as I looked around at my companions, I knew that we had come too far to turn back now. "We accept," I said, my voice firm. Era nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Then let us begin," she said. As we followed Era through the winding passageways, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being led into a trap. But I pushed the thought aside, focusing on the task at hand. The trial was a maze of illusions designed to test our perceptions and our resolve. We had to navigate through a series of challenges, each one more difficult than the last. But with Era's guidance, we were able to overcome each obstacle, learning more about ourselves and about each other. We discovered hidden strengths and weaknesses, and we grew closer as a team. As we emerged from the trial, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. We had faced our fears and overcome them, and we had come out stronger on the other side. Era smiled, her eyes shining with approval. "Well done," she said. "You have proven yourselves worthy. Now, let us proceed to the heart of the outpost." As we journeyed deeper into the outpost, we encountered more challenges and obstacles. But with Era's help, we were able to overcome them, unlocking new secrets and discovering new wonders. And then, finally, we reached the heart of the outpost. A massive crystal formation rose before us, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. "This is it," I breathed, my eyes wide with wonder. Astrid smiled, her eyes shining with tears. "We did it," she said. "We unlocked the secrets of the outpost." But as we approached the crystal, I sensed that we were not alone. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and we had to be ready. The stakes had never been higher, and our next move would determine the course of our journey. But with Astrid by our side, and with our combined strength and determination, I knew that we could overcome any obstacle. The journey was far from over, but I was ready to face whatever lay ahead. I was ready to uncover the secrets of the outpost, to emerge victorious, and to forge a new future for myself and for Aetheria. As we reached out to touch the crystal, a blinding light filled the air, and everything went white. When the light faded, I found myself standing in a vast, empty chamber. The crystal was gone, but a figure stood before me, a figure I had not seen in years. "Aaron?" I whispered, my voice trembling with emotion. Aaron smiled, his eyes shining with warmth. "Alex," he said, his voice low and gentle. "I've been waiting for you." I stumbled forward, my heart overflowing with joy. Aaron, my old friend, my brother. But as we embraced, I realized that something was wrong. Aaron's eyes seemed different. His smile seemed forced. And then I saw it. A small, intricate tattoo on his forehead, a symbol of the Shadowhand Clan. My heart sank, and I stumbled backward, my eyes wide with shock. "Aaron?" I whispered, my voice trembling with fear. But it was too late. Aaron's face twisted into a cruel smile, and he raised his hand, revealing a small, glowing crystal. "You should have stayed out of this, Alex," he said, his voice cold and deadly. The journey had just taken a dark and unexpected turn. I knew that I had to act fast to protect my friends and myself from Aaron's treachery. But as I looked around the chamber, I realized that we were not alone. The Shadowhand Clan was closing in, and we had to be ready. The stakes had never been higher, and our next move would determine the course of our journey. But with my companions by my side, and with my wits and my courage, I knew that we could overcome any obstacle. The journey was far from over, but I was ready to face whatever lay ahead. I was ready to uncover the secrets of the outpost, to emerge victorious, and to forge a new future for myself and for Aetheria.